Okay, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Today, we're grappling with something, well, deeply human. It surfaces the moment things go sideways. That knee-jerk instinct to find someone or maybe something to blame.
Hmm.
We've been digging through a stack of notes, articles, all focused on this. And our mission really is to unpack what these sources reveal about why we do it and, the
Yeah,
consequences.
it's a reaction woven into so many situations, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little personal slip-ups, big organizational
No,
mess-ups.
totally.
Our deep dive into these materials, it really tries to get to the core of it.
It does. And speaking of core concepts, our word of the day that sort of jumped out from the sources is impute.
Ah, impute. Good one. It's
Yeah,
a word that gets right to the heart of assigning fault, doesn't it?
exactly.
It means to say, basically, this person or even this thing is responsible. They're guilty of something, an action, maybe a motive.
Right, it's that direct link, assigning the blame.
Precisely.
And the central question this deep dive asks right from the start is, when something goes wrong, why is our first instinct so often to look for someone else to point the finger at?
Well, the most immediate reason we found highlighted is pretty simple, actually.
Okay.
It instantly shifts the burden.
Yeah.
It takes the weight of responsibility of fault right off your shoulders.
Ah, okay. Like a quick, hey, it wasn't me.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
A rapid defense.
Right. And sometimes, look, who's at fault is crystal clear. The blame might even be, valid.
Sure, absolutely. But what's fascinating, this came up again and again in the materials, is this really significant consequence. It seems to happen whether the blame is fair or totally off base.
Which is?
In almost every instance, placing blame seems to erode morale, sometimes completely destroy it.
Wow, okay. That's powerful. Because blame can feel like it wraps things up neatly, right?
Mhm.
You found the culprit, assigned the fault, situation kind of concluded, in your head anyway,
Yeah.
and you're off the hook.
But just as we were digging in, it became really clear that while it might offer that fleeting sense of closure,
Yeah.
it more often than not creates entirely new problems.
Yeah.
Problems you maybe didn't see coming or aren't ready for.
So the deep dive really pushes us then. It makes you consider not just if you can blame someone, but should you?
Exactly. What's the cost? Is
Yeah.
it truly worth it? Even when you feel 100% certain they're the one at fault.
Right.
Yeah, one key point that was really emphasized is timing and consequence, especially when you rely on other people.
Okay.
You have to weigh that immediate urge that I need to blame someone now feeling against the potential fallout.
Thinking it through before acting.
Yes, thinking through those consequences, deciding on the most constructive response before you actually lay the blame, that's presented as just crucial.
Okay. So, bringing it all together then, what's the sort of core takeaway from this exploration into the blame impulse?
I think it's this. While assigning blame might initially feel like a resolution, giving you that relief.
Yeah, that sense of, okay, handled.
Right.
Mm.
But the materials we looked at consistently show its default impact is, well, destructive, particularly for team morale, for trust.
And that critical point about timing and cost really sticks with me. Just because the target seems obvious doesn't mean pointing the finger is the wise move.
No.
You have to pause, consider the price.
It perfectly captures that image that was highlighted, doesn't it? The child instantly pointing at the teddy bear sitting next to the broken lamp.
Huh, right. That immediate reaction.
That immediate instinct. Sometimes it's misdirected, sometimes it's just strategically unwise because of what happens next.
It makes sense. Navigating difficulties, it often means finding ways to smooth the path forward, right? But maybe focusing so intensely on blame. Perhaps it's like the hatred mentioned in the sources. It just makes the road bumpier for everyone.
I think that's a great way to put it. And, that brings us to a quote that really resonated throughout the material we reviewed.
Okay.
Oscar Wilde. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars.
Ah, yeah. A perfect fit for this.
It really is. And it leaves us, and you listening, with this kind of provocative thought, drawn right from the spirit of our deep dive today.
Okay.
In those tough moments when things aren't going right, do we instinctively just dwell in the gutter? Assigning fault, laying blame? Or can we consciously choose to look towards the stars, focus our energy instead on finding solutions, figuring out how to move forward together, like the sources prompt us to consider?
Something to reflect on, definitely. Next time that blaming instinct kicks in.